turns his right on 50 on the ground.
Hi there, welcome to another edition of On the Fox Footy Vault, where we take a trip back in time to relive the golden years of football. This time around, we're returning to season 1969 and the preliminary final clash between great suburban rivals Collingwood and Richmond at the MCG. The Magpies under coach Bobby Rose had finished the home and away seasons ahead of my Carlton side on percentage, but fell to the Blues by 6 goals in the second semi-final. Tommy Hafey's Tigers had found form in the nick of time, winning their last 4 games to scrape into the final 4 on percentage. But they served notice of their September intentions in no uncertain terms when they obliterated Geelong by a league finals record of 118 points in the first semi-final to progress through to the preliminary final day. The build-up to this game was fantastic. The first time in 32 years that these two great rivals from adjoining suburbs had met in September. More than 108,000 squeezed into the MCG to see who would progress to face Carlton on grand final day. And they were treated to an entertaining opening term, Collingwood beating 4 goals to 3 to lead by 6 points at the first change. We pick up play in the opening minute of the second term. It's the 1969 preliminary final between Collingwood and Richmond, and it's the Magpies leading it by 6 points.
It's Collingwood in attack in the forward pocket with Ronaldson thumping the ball over the line. Dunn looks for front position this time. Does it pretty nicely too and recovers well. Bartlett comes in and takes him on, picked up by Strain. Strain boots it back to the centre of the ground. Underneath is Thompson. Thompson nicely sport by Green. An opportunity now for Richardson. He can't pick up and down comes Northey to Price. Price then boots it down towards that forward line. A good leap by Dunn. Well played Peter McKenna. He runs away from goal and gets a hand pass out towards Graham, which is a bad one. In comes John Greening. Greening then finds a long hand pass to troublesome Peter McKenna. McKenna left puts it out to Whedon and Whedon takes them out.
They got there, but it took quite a while.
Runs for the ball too much at times, McKenna.
He's trying to do too much, Ken, I think.
Whedon about 35 to 40 yards out from goal. A difficult angle, 45 to 50 degrees. A magnificent kick, and it's a major.
Well, it's great to see Whedon score. He's a player that came on last week and showed quite a lot of talent in the last quarter. He's a little battler. He's very, very game for his inches, and certainly that will help his confidence no end.
2 goals the lead for Collingwood. Umpire Don Jolly in the centre. Ready now is Michael Green, prepares for the run-in. Thompson's with him. Green wins it. Down it goes towards Ronaldson. Ronaldson boots it out into open territory on a half-forward flank where Michael Bowden leads. He gets an awkward bounce and gives Jenkin the chance, but Bowden's got too much toe, turns cleverly, gets a hand pass in the Northey direction. Northey's under pressure here, but doesn't flinch. John Greening takes it away from him. His short passes out wide to centre wing position. A grand tumbling effort by Whedon. He's tackled but never in possession, and the free kick will go to Whedon.
Whedon, centre wing outer side, about to take this kick for Collingwood up toward the half-forward area. Favours the spiral punt. It covers a fair amount of distance. Thompson leaps from behind but can't bring the ball in. Oh, a backhander by Thompson. He spelled Owen. Picked up further and sent further afield towards Tuddenham. Tuddenham screws into the goal square. Farmer on his own in the goal square tells Tuddenham. But meantime, Owen stretched out on the ground. Back there, a behind to Collingwood. 5-3-33 the Magpies, and Richmond 3-2-20.
There's Barry Richardson once again. He's had tons of work. He looks to the grandstand side and greens his target. Terry Waters comes careering out with him. Up above they go. Good mark, Ricky Watt, as the Giants missed it.
Behind the mark.
Behind the mark it was, as Terry Ongarello calls. Well played, Price. Out to Waters. Waters' kick is not a good one, but the chance is there for an awkward bounce. In front, there's all down they go. Tuddenham comes in, and in the 10-yard square, Tuddenham won't give up. Out it goes to Wayne Richardson. Wayne Richardson left foot snap through for one behind.
Wasting opportunities, Collingwood, I think, up forward just
There's
a moment.
too many of them, Ken, with obvious talent, but unfortunately a little on the selfish side. Too many flying for the ball, too many of them trying to do too much, and not enough teamwork down there at the moment.
Richardson pointing to the mark, and so umpire Jolly asks McKenna to come back to the regulation 10 yards. And then Richardson kicks in with a drop kick. Waters is behind, so's Watt. Ball punched away. A chance for Whedon. Through comes play. Plenty of pace. Price bumps him beautifully, hip and shoulder. Dean a handball to Brown going past. Brown's kick is not a good one. It's gathered by Bartlett. Bartlett puts the ball on the ground. He'll win the free kick. It should have been throwing the ball.
Oh, I don't know, but Bartlett isn't not able to touch Kevin Bartlett at the moment. He's certainly getting the better of most decisions.
Coming in for about his 11th kick too. Bartlett stubs his toe a little bit. This gives Jenkin the opportunity to mark the ball at the third attempt.
And just
Graham Jenkin from that back line. Drop kicks in towards the centre. The big fellows are up there. Graham had the chance but couldn't win the ball. Going in was Greening. Richmond in possession. Northey fighting through. Pushes an opponent to the ground. Umpire Jolly blows his whistle. Gives the free kick to Collingwood. And this is Ross Dunn down on the half-back line.
And Dunn's kick is a very bad one, but watch the man who's got the chance from a contrary bounce. He wanders to it. Left foot is in trouble as he hand passes to Mackenzie. Well played back to Watt from Mackenzie. Watt now on his left foot kicks an ugly wobbler. Here comes Michael Green in perfect position. Oh, he was nearly on with it too. He's on with it now out to Owen. Owen cleverly to Francis Burke. Burke now in the centre of the ground. Boots it down towards that full forward zone. Eric Moore up. Nicely spoiled by Clifton. Clifton follows on. Nicely taken away from him by the brilliant Dean. Northey's kicked down towards the pocket. And Kevin Bartlett, if he can reach it before it goes over the line, the danger man. But he couldn't. It was over the line. Boundary umpire comes racing down from a good 50 yards away.
Collingwood 34 points to Richmond 20 at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter.
Ronaldson-Thompson duel once again. In front was Ronaldson, did it pretty well, and Thompson takes the free.
Ronaldson says, how could I push him in the back? He was behind.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Pip, too.
Definitely silence from the commentary box.
It's all staggered.
In comes Thompson, grandstand side, boots it down in front with plenty of pace, and Clay gets in the road of Hart. Mike Bowden to Brown, you're in trouble, Brown. Well done by Price. Here comes Max Richardson, gets his kick and boots it down towards underneath it. Twiggy done. Good mark, Twiggy done. On with the business. Boots it down. McKenna leads in the race for the ball. He will take it. He's out.
Good football, Collingwood. They got that ball down there very smartly. Good play by Dunn.
McKenna, boundary line, as you...
Where he gives his full forward plenty of opportunities.
Clearly on the boundary line. Peter McKenna underneath the grandstand. Doesn't suit his right boot. Drop punt is a magnificent kick. It's a magnificent goal from full forward Peter McKenna, number 2.
Oh, that was a chance, wasn't it? It didn't deviate from the time it left his boot. I don't think you can see daylight, hardly.
Oh, it's not fair that a fella can kick that straight.
As a former full forward, Tony?
As a former Tony.
Jealousy showing there.
Yeah, and that's an important one for the Magpies too. Takes them to 6-4-40. Double Richmond score, 3-2-20.
Bounce of the ball in the centre once again. They clash. Green gets a stiffener from Whedon and the free kick as he went up for the ball. Michael Green of Richmond then sends forward. It's all Royce Hart. Beautiful position, beautiful mark, and no punch on the back man.
They're too confident trying to outmark Hart. There should be punches from behind there.
Hart kicked one from a similar distance in the first quarter. Lines this one up with plenty of determination. Moves in. It's on its way. It's got the distance. Not the accuracy. Behind only to Richmond. They move along to 3-3, 21. They're trailing by 19 points. Collingwood 6-4-40. And play's been in progress about 8 minutes in the second quarter.
Jeff Clifton, the youngster, 20 years old. Outer side of the ground, he's looking for. The left footer comes in, looks like a drop punt. He comes in and kicks that long, wobbly one out wide. Underneath it is Collingwood. It was almost taken there by Greening. Could have been rewarded. It is awarded.
Doing very well in the wing, this young fellow.
He's got a ton of ability, Ken. I'm sure he'll gain confidence as the game goes on.
Wayne Richardson gives the lead. It's ignored. Down towards Jenkin. Jenkin punched away by Green. Out wide it goes. A kick off the ground by Francis Burke. Well played. Twiggy done, and a free kick should have gone to him. He gets his foot to the ball and boots it downfield. In front with the chances there for Richardson. Nice starting by Graham. Peter McKenna can run into an open goal and just quietly puts it through into the jubilant Collingwood stand. 3 goals to Peter McKenna.
Oh, good football, wasn't it, Tony?
Good football. Oh, there's a lot of good Collingwood teamwork being shown at the moment, Ken, and Richmond players are now learning that they're not going to have it all their own way as they did against Geelong.
I was going to suggest that they must be a pretty worried bunch at this moment. If they're not, they've got a lot of confidence, I can tell you. Collingwood 7-4-46 now to Richmond 3-3-21. And the messages are going out thick and fast.
Bounce of the ball in the centre, and they're up there. Green gets the tap down, but it's Collingwood who punched the ball forward once again. A lot of huffing and puffing behind. It's Green who's going to get the free kick. He was certainly interfered with by Bergen. who, for want of a better phrase, was cuffing him slightly.
More into the centre, perhaps.
There's the kick by Dunn. It's a good one, too. McKenna is behind. McKenna can't mark. Tries to recover. Ball on the ground. Players run past. All stacks on the mill. Heavy work until Bartlett gets a hand pass and gives it to Burke on the wing. Burke, a long hand pass to Owen going past his good football to open it up for the Tigers. Owen changes his mind when he was given the lead by Moore. Moore from behind spoils Waters. Northey swoops, but here's Barrett. Barrett skips over Waters' arm as he tried to drag him in. Moore making position out on the flank. Look out, his trouble. A chance for Eric Moore just inside the boundary line. Puts the ball on its way towards the goal square. Behind it's Brown. The ball hits the ground and runs through for a behind.
More into the centre for Richmond. I don't know whether it's Barrett to full forward. We'll soon find out. Yeah, Barrett to full forward, and Moore has gone into the centre.
This was the desperation move that was so successful against Carlton.
Yes, I don't know whether it's successful on the MCG, though. I think it's a bad move.
Clifton comes in and boots it out wide, out on the outer side of the ground once again. Underneath it is Terry Waters. A wonderful, juggling, spectacular.
Lovely move.
Loves it from behind and does it magnificently. He boots back looking for Dunn. Bergen makes front position but misjudges it, and Dunn with perfect judgment. 6 foot he's pushed out to the umpire.
He was talked into that by Roger Dean.
Indeed, he was talked into. He was walking the other way.
Graham Bergen is between centre and centre half forward as he sends a good long one down. In comes Mackenzie, but it doesn't need to do it. It's taken by Max Richardson. Richardson taking tons of time. Looks to the grandstand side and boots it out to Ricky Watt. Dickie Clay's in perfect position. He hits it down to the ground and Tuddenham goes scooping after it. Jeff Strain picks him up and bumps him from behind. The umpire says throw in. No, he says the free back.
In the back.
Yes, Tuddenham just slowed himself down enough to have the player behind him crash into him, and it was very well done.
Ricky Watt's the man who goes across and tosses it back or kicks it back to Captain Tuddenham on half-back flank. On the grandstand side, short passes across to Max Richardson. He takes it and plays on well and strongly. Sends a good skimming 65-yarder to McKenna. Barry Richardson nicely in front. Loses the run of the ball. Here's a chance now for Sheedy. Sheedy cleverly out to Burke. Burke is on his way onto his right foot. He boots it out looking for Northey. Northey's well positioned, but he recovers nicely, but the ball is thumped away from him by O'Callaghan with a magnificent spoil out of bounds centre wing position.
Tackling hard are the Magpies, my word they are. They're not allowing Richmond to break into the open.
Boundary throw in. Green and Thompson hustle each other for the ball. It's taken by Burke and kicked far forward for Richmond. A chance for Brown. Here's Barrett. Can he use his pace to get away this time? He goes round in the right-hand circle. Looks for Clay coming past. Clay lines them up from a long way out and bangs away unsuccessfully from behind for the Tigers.
It will be interesting to see just how this move does work. It certainly worked at Carlton when Barrett was a sensation at full forward, but I'd still like to see his long kicks coming from the centre.
Potter now kicking off for Collingwood. Thompson from behind. Can he outmark Green? The ball's on the ground. No mark to anybody. Down goes Burke. Oh, a heavy one there for Master Francis Burke. And umpire Johnny says we'll ball it up.
Ball up on the half-forward line with the Tigers in attack. Len Thompson on the ball. In comes Ronaldson, punched away by Jenkin, out wide to Francis Burke. He boots it back towards where Mackenzie and Billy Brown, an uneven-looking battle. Mackenzie's arm there first, and it's pushed through for another behind to Richmond.
It's nicely defended too. He's under pressure there, isn't it?
So Clifton's going to kick out this time. Just for one kick out, Ted Potter took over. Clifton veering wide out to kick to the outer side of the ground once again. Thompson and Green will be the aerial exponents as they come in. From behind, it's almost Thompson's arms. Down it goes to Wayne Richardson. He tries the short pass and does it beautifully out to Whedon. Or as Whedon comes in, boots it down towards centre half forward. From behind in front, it's a good mark, Richmond, taken by Bergen.
A lot of niggling going on behind the game at times.
Bergen at centre half back. Long punt kick down towards looking for Barrett. Barrett's got to go with 6'3" of him. Down it comes to the ground. It's Richmond's chance through Bowden. Bowden looks for the long hand pass to Northey. Northey cleverly to Dick Clay. Clay with tremendous pace. Tons of trouble. Breaks away. Turns. Left foot. Throws it back and has a shot for goal. And it's through from behind.
Well, the whistle went up to the umpire's mouth then, but...
just got away with it.
Clay just got away, yes. Had he walked another step, I think Kenny'd have been... penalised for running too far with it.
There's the board. 7-4 to Collingwood. 3-7 to Richmond. 46 plays 25. Time elapsed about 15 minutes in the second quarter. Messages going out thick and fast from both benches. Clifton kicks in for Collingwood, a shocking kick too, but it's fallen into the arms of a teammate further afield. It looks like Dennis O'Callaghan, yes. O'Callaghan, not a strong kick into the centre of the ground. Moore punches the ball away for Richmond. The Tigers are underway. There are 3 of them. Coming down is the fumbling Beard, but he finally gets clear with a hand pass to Clay, which put him under pressure. Clay sends a kick forward, but it's all Collingwood as Mackenzie comes across to mark easily in defence for the Woods. Mackenzie getting leads aplenty from the outer wing, but he kicks slightly down the centre. Thompson is behind, thump in the ear for somebody. A chance there for Waters as he picks up and sends forward. A lot of interference. Farmer fumbles, pushing the back to Farmer, and he'll get the free kick. Farmer propping just a little. Collingwood want that ball down there quickly. McKenna, all the way.
Never in doubt. Good, strong mark.
McKenna is about 30 yards out, not much further.
Could be goal number 4 too, Vic. Just missed too many from this distance and straight in front.
He's got the chance to put Collingwood 27 points in front if he kicks it straight. It's on its way. Goal umpire goes to the left. It says a behind.
3 goals, 1.
47 now to Collingwood from 7 goals, 5. Richmond 25 points from 3 goals, 7. The value of straight kicking.
Barry Richardson once again, and he certainly had his hands full with the brilliant Peter McKenna. It's a drop kick and a long one out in the Waters direction. Waters in lovely position, almost held it long enough. Umpire, no, he's not allowed. Play goes on. A kick off the ground gives a chance to Bartlett. He's under pressure from Graham. Graham fumbles it. Bartlett with great speed and wonderful swerving anticipation. Boots it out wide road. Callaghan leads in the race for the ball. An awkward bounce goes nicely out towards his hands in the last moment. Down he goes. He's tackled by 2 Richmond players. Cleverly back to Thompson. Thompson's nicely tackled. Here's a chance still for Callaghan. He left puts it out towards the boundary line into the crowd, and the free kick will go to the Tigers and Kevin Sheedy. A pretty quiet Kevin Sheedy takes the free kick.
A little bit slower, Callaghan, I think.
Sheedy, of course, he lacks match practice, Ken, doesn't he? In league company this year.
Sheedy's second kick.
On half-back flank is Kevin Sheedy on the outer side of the ground as he comes in and boots it downfield. Looking there for Michael Green, who takes a spectacular mark. 4 marks to Green. That was perfect anticipation. Off he goes to the left foot pass, Jim to Hart. Hart's on with the business. Barrett's behind the pack. Clifton now in position. Barrett for the leap. Clifton well done. Almost takes it. Barrett battles for his played it.
Paid it.
He played it.
He paid it.
Yes, so he should. Just held it long enough. I think it'd be the decision, but it was wonderful anticipation.
Well, he's got a good height advantage over Barrett, and he should be able to use it.
Yes, he'd have it 4 or 5 inches over Barrett as he kicks it out wide. Len Thompson's got perfect opportunity, but bad judgment gives the chance to Burke. Burke then comes in and screws it back towards the goal line, but it's well off direction, out of bounds on the full, and a free kick to the Magpies.
Richmond are not playing with a great deal of teamwork nor a great deal of confidence at this stage. We're about 18 minutes into the second quarter. They only have 3 goals on the board, 3-7 to Collingwood 7-5.
Collingwood have taken, Ken, 32 marks to Richmond's 22 to date, so they're certainly stronger in the air at the moment.
Clifton, who's been a particularly good fullback, boots it out wide. Terry Waters underneath it. Oh, easily taken by Greening. Greening's off in a flash. He's off too quickly and gives it to Dick Clay. Clay goes up and smothers it. Comes down to Dean. Dean back in the direction of Clay, but Barry Price gets pushed out. Billy Brown in tons of trouble. Hits it down to Clay. Clay then screws it back and very badly off direction. Over the line, out of bounds. Another free kick to Collingwood's Len Thompson.
My word, the Collingwood defenders have got the Richmond forwards on the wrong foot at the moment, and plenty of pressure being applied, as is instanced by Richmond's bad kicking. 3-7. Thompson elects to kick this one, doesn't kick it very well straight up the centre of the ground. He might get out of trouble. No, in good position. Had a little ride on his opponent's hip and takes the mark within kicking distance. Roger Dean, if ever Richmond needed a goal from its captain, it's right at this very minute, as Dean lines up number 9, kick for the day. Comes in and spiral punt, it's close. Behind.
That goal umpire ought to be shot.
He's tricky, isn't he?
Doing things like that. Dramatic. Very dramatic from behind. What's he doing when it's a goal?
Waves both flags. Here's Jeff Clifton to put the ball in for Collingwood. Elects the drop punt to the outer flank once again. Collingwood's big men are up there. Terry Waters at half-back flank, outer side, towards the centre of the ground. Towards the man on the mark, but he recovers, loses the ball, picked up by Potter. Quick hand pass to O'Callaghan is good football. O'Callaghan's kick is not a very good one, however. Richmond a chance to mark. Opportunity there for Strang. He burst his way past one tackle and gets a kick towards Bartlett, and Bartlett marks on his chest on the half-forward flank. Quickly he breaks away. Wrong foot's Mackenzie. Has a little bounce. Runs in towards the open goal. 2 bounces. Look out. It's kicked offline. Another behind to the Tigers. Bartlett holding his head rather ruefully after running into a Collingwood defender.
Well, did everything right except kick it straight as Clifton comes in and boots it downfield. Beard and Farmer and click play. Farmer almost took it. Here's Brown cleverly up to Bartlett. Show again. 15 yards out. 25 yards incorrect, and a shocking kick, another behind.
This could be one of Richmond's days, you know. They're noted for this bad kicking, but in their last 3 games, of course, they've been on the right foot. But today they were right off target. 3 10s there, Charlie.
Clifton once again comes down and kicks yet another one out and looks for Waters. Waters up high, but Royce Hart's hands got there first. The umpire finds a free kick, and it's Michael Green who's trotting back looking to take it, and Green will beat the Tigers into attack once again. Barrett stationed at full forward. Clifton in the 10-yard square. Bartlett and Mackenzie come down too as Green goes for the long one. It falls in front of the pack. The chance is there for Ronaldson. What a wonderful diving mark. Well, as Vic said with Dean, if ever a goal is needed, this is one. Ronaldson's about 20 yards out on a pretty acute angle, about 45 to 50 degrees. Len Thompson on the mark. John Ronaldson, 6'5", shoots for goal. Kicks and kicks it one. It's through.
Well, they were due to get one sooner or later. And of course, there it is. It's taken quite a while. A lot of very wild shots at goal so far this quarter, but the Tigers at last have found the big opening, and Ronaldson the fellow to do it. He certainly pops up in finals with these good goals.
Collingwood 47 points to Richmond 34 at the 22-minute mark of the second quarter.
It appears to be the scoring end, do you think, Ken, down there, that Richmond really should be getting the opportunity, shouldn't they, this quarter?
That's true.
In the centre, it's Jenkin in ruck for Collingwood. Wins the tap down and gives it to Greening. Greening a hand pass to Waters under pressure. He finds the needle opening and gives it to Max Richardson. His kick goes forward, but the Richmond backs have the chance to turn them up. Strang, who gathers the ball and puts it on its way up towards Dean, who marks on his chest. Then grandstands for 15 yards and didn't get even 15 inches.
They ought to give this fellow an Academy Award.
Oscar kicks the ball forward towards Hart. Can't win it on the ground. A chance there for Greening. He goes in after the ball, goes over, stacks on the mill, but out comes Hart with the football. Kicks with his right foot. Not too bad towards Ronaldson. He stretches up. Can't win the ball. The battle of the big men. And in comes Burke to take the prize. Sends back towards the goal square. Hustling. It's there. Behind. 4 goals, 11, the Tigers, 35 points. Trailing by 2 straight kicks. Collingwood 7-5-47. Clifton, who's had plenty of kicking off practice, elects the punt kick this time. It's not a good one. In front is Michael Green and holds his 5th mark for the match. Green to put the ball back up towards that important 10-yard square for Richmond. Does so with a high spiral punt. Barrett edging. There is Hart. Can't mark on the ground. A chance for the Richmond players. Umpire Jolly blows the whistle. Dean thinks he's got the free kick.
Well, they can't blame him for trying.
Ruck battle. Down to Potter. Down goes Potter. Dean on top of him. Umpire Jolly will call it up again.
No, he's getting it through to Richmond.
Been talked into it this time. Well, they say the wheel that squeaks the most gets the most grease. Roger Dean, point-blank range, couldn't possibly miss from here.
Well, that was sudden death in a pack. Goodness me.
Kicks for goal, puts it through. Tigers back in business.
Very lucky indeed. Richmond to get their 5th goal on the board. 5-11. They move on to now 41 points. 1 goal the difference. Collingwood 7-5, 47. And we're about to enter the time-on period in the second quarter.
Well, it was noticeable in the last 5 minutes of the first quarter. Richmond got 2 or 3 very dicey free kicks, if I may call them that, in front of goal. And now in this second quarter at about the same stage, they've done it again.
Michael Green once again in front of Thompson. Thompson wins it. Billy Brown is tackled by Max Richardson. Out it goes to Greening. Greening down to Twiggy Dunn. Barry Richardson handles Shawley. Boots it back to the centre of the ground. In front is Green. Can't take it. Bowden in tons of trouble. Walks into trouble again. He's tackled high on the shoulder and takes the free kick. Oh, he was going to hand pass that time too. Bowden comes back. Boots an ugly looking punt kick, but Dick Clay's going to save him by coming in and marking on his chest. Clay indicates that Ricky Watt is infringing that foot or so. Clay's kick is a magnificent one. Clifton in front, behind the pack. The chance is there for Bartlett. Oh, what speed! Whipped away from Jenkins and bangs it through, and that's the equaliser. 3 goals to Bartlett.
So a quarter of fluctuating fortunes in a 1969 preliminary final. Collingwood pulling out to a 25-point lead before Richmond came storming back to level the scores at the major break. The Tigers could have been in front, but for their inaccuracy in front of goals. Richmond adding 3 goals, 10 would you believe, and several out of bounds to let the Magpies off the hook. After the break, we'll return to the MCG for the all-important third quarter. You're watching the 1969 preliminary final right here on the Fox Footy Vault.
Turns, he's right on 50 on the boundary. Can he recover at ground level? Oh, big crash.
Umpire Jelly and Doug Hayden.
And the ruckman coming in to contest are the usual ones, but down it comes towards Barrett back in the centre. Len Thompson emerges with the ball and thumps it out to the half-forward line. Past Farmer it goes. Colin Beard hotly pursuing him. Farmer goes down. Beard's got the opportunity. Can't pick it up. Barry Richardson will do it for him. Richardson on half-back flank. A magnificent pass and a diving leap by Dick Clay. And the mark is taken well.
Is it Clay?
No, it's not Clay.
Looks like Roger, no?
It looks like Roger Dean as he drives it down in front. It's all Collingwood, missed by Price. Behind the pack, the chances here for Ricky Watt. Ricky Watt boots to the centre of the ground. Francis Burke in position, almost took a good one. Greening disputes it. Out wide it goes towards Owen. Owen very slow and flattened by O'Callaghan. Down they go, tumble on the ball. Greening's a long hand pass out towards Strang. He's in trouble but gets out of it quickly. Waters underneath it, goes up. Nicely sport by Hart. The swoop and Northey misses it. Barrett doesn't. Barrett comes down onto his left foot. Boots it down towards the pocket. Here's Moore from behind, got the chance. Billy Brown roving. The umpires paid it and paid
Mark
it.
to Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, I think.
Or is it Clifton going back?
Notice that Moore is back at full forward. Barrett back in the centre.
Ball is tumbled back from the crowd. 6'4" and 16 stone of Graham Jenkin runs across to get it and sends a nice looking pass across to teammate Mackenzie. Mackenzie well warded the mark. Very fresh breeze as he boots it out wide down towards wing position. The ruckman go underneath it. It should have been taken by Bowden. Bowden to Bartlett. Bartlett's in tons of trouble as the hand pass is a bad one and it goes over the line, out of bounds. The Tigers in attack on the half-forward flank on the outer side.
About 2 minutes into the third quarter. Score's still level. Which way will it go? This vast crowd, they'll know the answer in about an hour.
Ronaldson front position. Thompson up behind him. Down towards Bartlett. Free kick, I thought, to Bartlett. Tackled when never in possession. He takes it quickly on with the business. Out towards Moore. Moore leading for the race. Takes a good one. A perfect pass. And Eric Moore is about 35 to 40 yards out. Straight shot from him.
Nicely timed lead by Moore too. He moved into the open spaces.
Eric Moore, his first deliberate shot for goal, comes in and kicks it high and kicks it long and kicks it just one straight through. Thought it was swinging.
That puts the Tigers in front by 1 goal. Quickly into the third quarter. 3 minutes have elapsed, approximately 3 minutes, and Richmond are 7-12, Collingwood 7-6, Tony Rongarello.
Yes, well, it's difficult to say just where Moore should be playing. Certainly at times at full forward he looks the bill, and that one was an excellent goal.
From the ruck exchange, it's Thompson who wins the tap, but his hand pass to Price is a bad one. Strang and Bergen try to come through and beat the paddock full, and the free kick goes against the Richmond man, Strang, for holding the ball. Tuddenham has it. in the centre of the ground. Tuddenham's kick is a wobbly one out towards the flank, and Sheedy is there to take them up. He has the falling down sickness, it seems.
I don't think Twiggy Dunn would have hurt him too much anyway.
Sheedy, a beautiful pass to Hart, and Hart stretches high to pull it in magnificent style. Hart is tackled by Tuddenham, but he gets the kick away to true centre-half forward. Waters off his fingers. A chance for Brown and McKenzie. It's McKenzie who beats Brown for it with skill. Sends it back in towards the centre, where Richmond outnumber Collingwood. Punch down goes to Dean. Dean sets it up from a long way forward to Northey, who fell over, stood up, and still took the mark.
Gee, what a gem of a pass, wasn't it?
Beautiful.
Pinpoint accuracy, that one from Roger Dean, and John Northey on a rather acute angle, and about 30 yards out has the chance to put the Tigers further in front. Kicks on its way. It's a low one, touched off the hands of players and through for a behind to the Tigers. That gives them a 7-point lead. They're 7-13, 55, and Collingwood 7-6, 48.
Richmond had an extremely good second quarter. They added 3:10, but for their inaccurate kicking, they possibly would have been a lot further ahead at the stage. As we wait on Clifton to put the ball into play, it's a lovely drop kick, covers a lot of ground.
And it's taken out towards...
Carry on if you want it.
Picked up here by Price at centre-half back. Price sends it down towards where Graham leads in the race to the ball. Graham on half-forward flank is hotly pursued by Sheedy. Graham's kick is smothered down towards the line. Over it goes, out of bounds. Peter McKenna trundles it back. Half-forward flank, and it's Twiggy Dunn up in front, cleverly to Tuddenham. Tuddenham had to kick very hurriedly over the white line on the full.
Tony, would you agree that Collingwood have lost a lot of their constructive play up forward since the first quarter?
Yes, they have, Ken, and they look also as though they're slowing down to me somewhat. They showed a lot of pace early.
Harry Richardson kicks it down the Thompson direction. Ball, Barrett, a tremendous leap above him, couldn't hold it. Emerging is Burke. Burke boots it down towards the half-forward line with a grand effort to mark, but Roger Dean comes reeling out and takes a free kick against Max Richardson.
Well, they both appeared to slip in at the same time, Doug. I don't know whether Richardson perhaps did interfere with Dean.
Dean, centre wing, sends in towards half-forward. It's a bad kick, and Price is under there to take the mark for Collingwood. Price drop kicks towards centre half forward. Dunn in front, but Green from behind. Can't mark. Ball hits the ground. A chance there for Collingwood's Thompson. He's grabbed as he gets away. Has the hand pass going forward. Kick off the ground by Richardson towards Farmer, rather Tuddenham. He meets Sheedy, and then Sheedy sends the ball out wide towards the flank. Opportunity for Barrett and Watt out there. It's Barrett who's going to win the ball, is it? Watt beats him, comes back towards him once again. Could have been penalised. Umpire Jolly, let's play go on. And the kick is taken and put across the line on the full and out of bounds by O'Callaghan in the passage of rather negative play. Free kick to Dick Clay of Richmond. He sends the ball up to that half-forward flank. Royce Hart leads there. Waters there for a fingertip mark, and it's been awarded.
Hasn't allowed too many of those overhead marks. I notice he's made players hold them.
Waters drives round that wing once again. Players going up, interfering with each other. The umpire says there's a Richmond free kick, and it's picked up by Sheedy. He's allowed to go on with play towards Hart. Hart dragged around the neck. He'll get the free kick and the mark. No, it's the free kick that umpire Jolly has played, indicating the arm around the shoulder. Royce Hart, a long way out from goal, but still I would fancy within kicking distance, has a chance to put the Tigers' 8th goal on the board. Hart moves in close to the man on the mark. Drop punt on its way. It's straight. It's a long kick. Has it got distance? No, it hasn't. Inside the boundary line is Clifton to mark the ball.
Magnificent mark right on the line by Jeff Clifton. He chooses the outer side of the ground once again. Thompson shielding eyes from the sun. Michael Green underneath him. The leap is there by Teddy Potter. Couldn't hold it. Scurrying across in the front of the pack. The chance is there for Watt, but he cannot pick it up. He dives. He's pulled around the neck and will take a free.
Oh, dear me. Very fortunate indeed, Ricky Watt. You're not handling that ball at all well at the moment.
Watt indicates it's the outer side of the ground again, and easily he trots it across towards half-back flank. It's nicely taken by Potter. The lead is given, but Potter ignores it and then chooses to kick it right down the Colin Beard direction. Beard misses it badly. Behind his Farmer. Someone's pushed out, and it's Captain Tuddenham.
Tuddenham appeared in the second quarter to be really favouring that knee. He did very, very little work indeed in the second.
Dunn goes forward, but Tuddenham kicks the high one down towards Peter McKenna. McKenna, the leaper, and the mark.
What a beautiful ride, isn't he? Timed it to perfection. What's he got? 3 on the board now. He's kicked 3-1.
Yes.
He could put this through, I think, Tony. He's within kicking range. He'll be, what, 50, 55 yards out.
Probably.
He's got a little breeze behind him.
McKenna comes in with a long drop punt. It goes down towards the behind post. It's punched away by Richardson, further out towards Brown. Brown on the boundary line, hits it back into play cleverly, gets the run, loses it, goes tumbling over the line with the ball. It's out of bounds, half forward flank on the outer side of the ground.
7 points the difference. Richmond in front.
Collingwood in attack as Michael Green takes front position. It's disputed. Here comes Sheedy coming into the third quarter with plenty of talent, taken by Wayne Richardson. Quickly onto his left foot. It's a perfect pass in the McKenna direction. McKenna could be played the free. Play goes on. Whedon's in the van. He turns, twists, looks for a hand pass out to Graham. Graham's in bundles of trouble. Cleverly up to Greeny. Greeny tackled as he kicked and threw from behind.
I thought McKenna was particularly unlucky just before then. I thought it was a free kick. Barry Richardson to put the ball into play. We're 9 minutes into the third quarter. This game's still wide open and a vast crowd here. Don't know whether there's quite as many as last week. There could be. Ball into play. This gives Collingwood the show, but there's going to be a free kick. Richardson. Strang is it to take it? Yes, Strang will take the free for the Tigers. He goes straight up the ground, looking here for Hart. Hart coming down, but Potter manoeuvres beautifully in front of him. That was well played, Ted Potter, and wasting no time, drives the ball into the open spaces. It's a poorly directed kick and goes into the arms of Francis Burke. Collingwood looking good just then as Burke puts his boot to the ball. Oh, it's a lovely kick. Jenkin goes for it, couldn't quite reach it, gets it inside the line, tries a hand pass. It's smothered. In comes Northey, but Jenkin moves to the ball again. He can be shepherded off, but he wasn't. Comes to Greening. Greening's kick is out on the full, and the kick to Richmond. Almost midfield on the member stand side. 7-13 now, the Tigers. Collingwood 7-7. Owen to take the free kick. Ooh, it's a wobbly looking old thing too as Potter comes down to meet the ball, couldn't quite trap it. Hart is there, backed up by Francis Burke, who crashed his way through, met by Whedon, but Burke brushes him aside, swings the ball forward. Out comes Eric Moore. He tries to trap it. He's coming to it again. Gets a hand pass, a lovely one too, out to Bowden. Bowden is going to dummy around, put it onto the boot. It's going to be close. It's going to fall that little bit short though, and Bartlett doing battle, gets it into the open spaces, but coming through defensively was Max Richardson to force it through for a behind to Richmond. Richmond now 7-14. Collingwood 7-7, 11 minutes into the third quarter.
Richardson took a bit of tension off there, Ken. It looked like Bartlett again was going to be able to snap that ball up.
Clifton once again. It's a drop kick out wide. Dick Clay's underneath it. He goes nicely. Ricky Watt recovers well. Clay beats him pointless. In bundles of trouble. He hits it out in front of him. Loses it again. Won't give up. 2-1. He's sandwiched. As down he goes. Billy Brown's hand pass to Barrett. Barrett sent a skimming drop kick downfield. It's through at the top of the post. A wonderful goal by Bill Barrett.
Well, there's that Barrett with those dynamic kicks from the middle of the ground. Why he was ever put the full forward in that second quarter, I don't know, but still, he was, and there just shows you what he can do when he lines them up.
There doesn't seem to be any wind factor at the moment, Tony. I mean, Richmond are doing pretty well if they're kicking against any breeze that may exist, but
well,
I don't.
That's true, because I noticed a couple of Collingwood kicks in this quarter so far can have held up in the breeze, so it's very difficult to tell.
Fluctuating. Back with umpire Jolly. Rucks do battle. Here Jenkin grabs the ball. A long hand pass, but it goes straight to Bergen. Bergen tackled. Ball held. Will he be penalised? He is. Tuddenham picks it up, but apparently it's coming back to Richardson. Richardson to take the free for Collingwood, almost in the centre. That was bad luck for the Magpies, because they moved the ball on.
Yes, it penalises them, really, can it? It brings them right back, and they did have the ball in control.
And all their forwards are covered now. Twiggy Dunn giving a lead, but it's ignored by Richardson, who's going to drive it right into the goal. It's not a bad drop, just falling that little bit short. Chance there for Farmer. He couldn't mark it. Coming through is Sheedy with beautiful dash towards the centre of the ground, and a mark here to Collingwood. Is it allowed? Oh, maybe. Richardson it was, but umpire Jolly's going to come in and bounce it, is he? Nope. He's going to indicate that it's going Richardson's way. For a moment I thought he was going to take it away from him. Richardson's kick, oh, it's a bad one. Into Northey on the mark, comes to Dean. Oh, Dean has met solidly, spilled on the ground. Ball picked up here by Collingwood's Richardson to McKenna. Good football. Lovely lead by McKenna. He's forced though to go deep into the pockets for the most part, but it was a well-timed one. Richardson saw the move, put it onto the left boot, and now here's McKenna with another chance. It's not an easy one. Fairly acute angle. I think he can manage the distance all right. We'll soon know. Here's the kick on its way. No, it's offline. It doesn't get the distance. In a little bit short. There's Tubman grabbing the ball. He's tackled in turn. Down it comes. And Collingwood clear, Richmond clear the ball away. But Greening makes a lovely move. He's played well on the wing, this boy. He's held Burke overhead. It was a good move by Collingwood. Greening's kick right up in front of the goal. Plenty of Richmond players in front there. The ball knocked into the open spaces. Chance here for Collingwood as Ricky Watt comes through. He's spilled on the turf. There's a pack developing, an ugly pack with Richardson coming clear of the ball. It's going straight to Terry Waters, though. He can't trap the ball. Gives Richmond the chance through Bartlett. Bartlett being held. Was he in possession? We'll wait and see. He was, apparently.
Yeah, even Ted Potter clapping him.
And Mackenzie to take the free kick.
Mackenzie about the centre of the ground is the back pocket as he thumps a magnificent 65-yarder down to McKenna and Richardson. McKenna again. Oh, what a lovely mark.
He's certainly marking particularly well, McKenna. It's his fifth mark, playing very well indeed. Unfortunately, some of his kicks aren't going as far as normal. I think he's tending to run a bit too close to the man on his mark.
25 yards out. The drop punt exponent puts it straight through the centre. Goal number 4.
It was a better one. Lovely goal by McKenna, certainly pulling his share of the Collingwood war effort down there at full forward, doing very well indeed, and by far the best of the Collingwood forwards to date.
The Magpies really back in business now. 8-7-55 to Richmond 8-14-62. And we're about 15 minutes into the third quarter.
On the bounce, it's Jenkin up, and Waters thumps it. Well done by Richardson. It's a missed badly there by Strang. Opportunities, he picked it up and it's driven down by Strang. Bergen missed it. Here's a lovely lead downfield. A nice mark driven out beautifully towards Farmer. Farmer's in tons of trouble as they get down to Whedon's. Not good football. Bergen spoils it. Sheedy's bundled over. Down he goes and will take the free. Not allowed. It's picked up. Farmer's tackled him, not in possession. And Bartlett's the man with the ball now. On the boundary line, he screws it back into general play. Wayne Richardson in the van. In lots of trouble. Across to O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan quickly down to the half-back flank of Richmond's, and the mark is taken, and well taken by Strang.
Strang almost from the back pocket on the members' side of the ground, kicks a high punt kick back towards the centre of the ground once again. Huffing and puffing in there. Green must get a free kick for a push in the back. And he has the ball just on the defensive side of centre. 3 steps and kicks towards half forward. Hart is behind the pack. Thompson flies high but misses. A chance for Bowden. Handballs to himself. Oh, there's a tough tackle. And Bowden gets away from it too. Kicks it high up into the forward zone. They set themselves up there. Ball off the hands to Billy Brown. Ducks his head. Umpire Jolly on the scene. Northey scouting. Down goes Northey. Umpire Jolly seen a free kick to Eric Moore.
Well, Collingwood defenders certainly are doing a lot of very, very foolish tackling down on that forward line. There's been too many free kicks, easy free kicks, earned by the Richmond forwards.
Moore, about 15 yards out and not far off straight in front. Lines this one up very carefully. Approaches, drop punts and puts it through. That's it.
Moore's second goal. Very, very good one. Once again, he's certainly starting to justify his position there at full forward.
I noticed Potter's going down into the, Waters is going into the Collingwood attack, going into the forward pocket.
This will allow Twiggy Dunn or Ian Graham. Oh, no.
Back with umpire Jolly. Richmond with a handy lead at the moment. There's Green interfering with Thompson from the bounce in the centre, and the big Collingwood ruckman takes the free. He's got a lead here from Wayne Richardson. It's in short. He's going to be under a bit of pressure, but well marked. Nicely taken. Pass was a little bit high to him. He in turn's got a lead here from McKenna, but coming in was Tuddenham. The ball punched away from him, comes into the open, grabbed by Bergen. Bergen's kick towards the centre. This gives Collingwood the show. There's Wayne Richardson in the thick of it again, trying to emerge from the pack. He's tackled hard and tackled well. but is going to get the free. Perhaps the tackle a little bit high. He's about centre half forward and should be able to put it well down towards the goal. There's the kick on its way. It's a good one. Plenty of Richmond players, and it's
Beard, I think.
Beard who showed the superior judgment to mark safely in the last line of defence.
Beard looks out towards Thompson, out in the Thompson direction. Not for him. It's a nice mark taken by Green, who went out wide. That was his target. Green then quickly on back to the centre of the ground, looking out here towards Hart. An awkward bounce gives Potter the chance, and Greening chips in. Good tackle, Northey. Play on, says the umpire. Picked up by Hart. Down he goes, and the umpire comes in and plays the piece of Collingwood.
He's not easy to follow, Charlie, is he?
Very poor effort.
It's O'Callaghan who's the lucky recipient of that one, down towards where in front it's Michael Green once again takes another telling mark. That's his 8th. For the great marks of the game, leading mark getter for the league as he boots it down in the direction of the centre of the ground, and it's nicely taken by Farmer. Players fall over. Ted Potter, you're the offender. Royce Hart takes the free.
Hart just on the half-back side of the centre, looking for leads further afield, and gets one out from Ronaldson. Arriving late is Jenkin. Ronaldson takes the mark, shepherded by Northey. He plays on, but plays on badly. The bounce doesn't favour Thompson. It's picked up by Brown. Barrett into an open goal, and he makes a certainty of it.
Yes, well, that found the Collingwood defence completely wide open. That, and how Billy Barrett manages to sneak down there unopposed, I'll never know.
No, Tony, I fancy that Richmond put the writing on the board, didn't they, in the second quarter. You could see them gradually getting on top, and this they're doing right now. They're moving on to 10-14, 74 to Collingwood 8-7, 55. A 19-point advantage at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter.
They seem physically more capable on this ground, Ken, don't they? They seem to show extra pace and strength.
They get greater distance with their kicks too.
Yes, of course they do.
Farmer's been moved to centre half forward. Dunn on the ball as Green wins another one. Price's kick covers no distance. Battling for it in the centre is Greening. Here's a chance now for Collingwood as Greening still got the show. He hits it out. He falls to the ground from a push and will take a free kick. Ron Greening has certainly been a success at centre wing position. Comes in and boots a long one down in the McKenna direction. Here's Richardson, gets hands to ball. Terry Water stages for one, doesn't get it. Nice pick up by Green once again. He boots it out when here's Jeffrey Strang underneath it. He's got tons of time to go on with the business if he wants to. Boots it down looking for Barrett, and Barrett's in lovely position. Oh, well done, Barrett. Takes it with strength, and here comes another Barrett special, but Clifton's underneath it. Clifton goes up and takes the mark. He's off quickly, and his kick is smothered by Bowden. Bad football. Bowden then pushes it, bumped him over well. Bowden well tackled by O'Callaghan, and out wide it goes towards Billy Brown. Umpire's whistle is blown. O'Callaghan's claiming it.
Yes, he claimed Bowden very well there indeed. It's a good tackle.
Dennis O'Callaghan, brought down from the country area, the Wimmera country in Mallee, halfway through the season. Back in the Collingwood side now, kicks towards the members' wing. Thompson has a chance. Finally gets his boot to the ball and kicks it off the ground. Race for the ball in the centre. Flying through with boots galore. Falls into that pack there. Picked up by Bartlett from the pack. Bartlett screws the ball back into the pocket. Jenkin in position. Almost stolen by Bowden. Jenkin backs into Bowden. Then hand passes further afield. Clifton's under pressure. There's a stack of players there. Umpire Jolly must ball it up. Richmond in attack. There's the bounce of the ball. Jenkin unopposed, grabbed and claimed by Ronaldson, and he allows the ball to try and get out, but that's not possible, and so umpire Jolly is forced to bounce it once again. This time it's Thompson who taps down towards Price. O'Callaghan takes a tap forward, but it rebounds towards Clay. Clay screws the ball back into the opposite forward pocket. Barrett streaming after the ball. It bounces awkwardly for him, but he's still in command in the front position. Tackled by Watt. He gets back to it and takes a bounce. Barrett fakes one hand pass. About to be gathered in. Clay round onto his left boot now. Straightens up and puts this one right up towards the 10-yard square. It's all Collingwood. Bowden flies. Can't mark. Ball on the ground. Picked up by Clifton. Under pressure, or is it done? Anyway, he's out of bounds, whoever it is, and there'll be a boundary throw in.
Danny Thompson and Ronaldson will contest it once again. Up they go. Thompson gets there first and comes out magnificently to Price. Price about centre half back, boots it down to the centre of the ground. Waters is the flyer. He can't hold it. Tuddenham on the ball, tries to break through. Plenty of strength as he kicks off the ground. Sheedy's another strong player. He runs into it. Tuddenham well done. He won't give up. He fights and struggles and takes the free kick.
I thought he should have been penalised for either holding the ball or dropping it.
Of course, there's no question about that. No question at all. Or a ball up if there was any doubt, but there was certainly no freedom.
Fair enough. Tuddenham's courage was there in no uncertain way, but he was lucky to get the kick.
Number 5 free kick to Tuddenham. His kick is a bad one. Plenty of justice in that. It goes to Burke. Burke then sends a driver down to Northey. Northey in perfect position. Oh, well stopped. He was going to go round onto his left foot. Tuddenham saw it, stopped him, and Northey centre wing position. Comes back and boots it down the Royce Hart direction. Potter's there as well. Well played.
Oh,
beautiful mark.
Beautiful mark.
Ted Potter, centre half back for Collingwood, to put the Magpies up towards their half forward area. He gets a lead from Farmer, kicks a high spiral punt kick in that direction. Green is there, stretches skywards, can't win the ball. Kick off the ground by Tuddenham, sends it back towards Beard. Beard sends forward, chance for Northey. Barrett scouting again, coming into the play. Barrett kicks it out wide to the flank, giving Bartlett the chance to use his pace against Mackenzie. Bartlett with a lead of 5 yards, pulls the ball in, stops, then decides to go past Mackenzie, and he does it well. 3 bounces. Bartlett streams in towards the goal, kicks it high in there with his left foot. He's put it through.
Resistance, I would say.
Fantastic.
Fantastic player. And what's that for Bartlett?
That's
goal
his
number 4.
goal, yes, and what a ripper it was. Goodness me. Fair enough effort to break away from Mackenzie and bouncing it as he was, but to drive it with his left foot into goal like that, well, it's just incredible.
This puts Richmond pretty well in the box seat. 1480 points they are now. The ball knocked forward and away go Richmond again, but Potter's in the way, immediately swings the ball through Collingwood's right half forward line. Plenty of Richmond players there as Green comes in. He's been a big kick getter, gets the ball across to Billy Brown in the open spaces. He can pass to Clay all on his own, but the pass is a shocker as Clay moves towards the ball. Out on the full, and the free kick will go to the Magpies. Ricky Watt to take it. 8-7 Collingwood, 11-14 Richmond. Someone getting ready for Collingwood to come on the ground. Yes.
Farmer's come on.
Collingwood going to attack with a left footer from Ian Graham. Down to centre half forward. A streaming, flying mark from behind by Sheedy.
Max Urquhart has replaced Max
Farmer.
Richardson.
Waiting now at centre half back as Sheedy's going to drive the Tigers into attack down towards where Northey can test with a wonderful leap. Barrett's in the thick of things, so is Hart as usual. Nice pick up by Price. He's beautifully tackled. Out it goes to Urquhart. Urquhart in tons of trouble, gains nothing for his side, and here comes the speed of Bartlett again. A lightning hand pass to Clay. Clay a left footer to Moore.
The Tigers are looking really good.
Oh, yes, they're coming home strongly. There's just too many of them for Collingwood to pick up. They're all over the place.
Eric Moore will kick towards the scoreboard goal, and the man on his mark is standing in the 10-yard square. So it's truly point-blank range, and he bangs it through into the crowd.
Way up into the third deck.
It's his third.
3 goals to Eric Moore, and Richmond consolidate now. 12-14. They move on to 86 points to Collingwood 8-7-55.
Yes, there's very little that one could say Collingwood could do to get out of this one. I think they've certainly been playing for the last couple of quarters with only 17 men. Tuddenham definitely not 100% fit, and their ruck advantage that they held early seems to be disappearing completely.
It's Jenkin in the ruck there for Collingwood. It gets the tap too. It comes clear. Chance for Wheaton. Wheaton down to centre half forward. In the way is Green. Green, a hand pass goes to Owen. Owen's caught with the ball by Waters. What happens? Umpire says play on, and this gives Richmond the chance. Beard, but the chipping in nicely is done. Done beautiful football. Drives it towards the goal. It's pretty close. Just a little bit offline. Behind to Collingwood when they badly need a goal. They move on to 8-8. 56 points, 30 points behind Richmond. We're about 27 minutes into this third quarter.
Barry Richardson kicks out to Green, who's been a wonderful player. Scouting cleverly in front was Clay, but ran into trouble. Scurrying after the ball and fighting for us was plucky little Whedon. He's beautifully tackled and held it a long time. In comes Bergen from a long, wild hand pass. Boots it down to the half-forward line looking for Barrett. Teddy Potter's going to take him on. Barrett goes for strength, but Potter beats him for pace and gets an unlucky bounce. He's still got a chance, but he's tackled. On the ground, he gets his foot to it. They're fighting over there away from the play. Royce Hart, as usual, emerges with the ball. Here's Northey, but it's a very bad kick of Hart's as he tries to find him, and Northey will be taken on by Greening. Northey gets there first, and very clever football onto his left foot, boots it down towards Michael Bowden. Lenny Thompson thumps it back into general play with a 20-yarder. John Greening outplaced that time by Burke. Burke decides to go on with it, out to Bartlett. Bartlett says, I'll use my speed. He will shoot for goal. It goes to Moore like a bullet. On his knees, takes it. A
his shoulder.
Oh, dear me.
Well, what price Bartlett? He's fantastic in this quarter. In fact, he's played grandly right throughout.
He's the big difference, Ken, I'm sure, between the two sides.
What's this? It's more his fourth goal, possibly. He's on a fairly acute angle, but only a yard or two out. He should put it through. Bang, away it goes, and it's straight through the middle. Goal number 13 for the Tigers. My word, they've been on the target since half-time. At half-time, they had 6-12 on the board, and now they got 13-14, so it's been a reversal in kicking for goal.
Eric Moore's fourth goal, capping a devastating third quarter of football from the Tigers. 7-1, cracking the 1969 preliminary final wide open as Richmond powered away to a 36-point lead at the final change. Try as they might, Collingwood couldn't bridge the gap. The Pies adding 4 goals to 2 in the last quarter, but still falling 26 points short of the boys from Punt Road. Another painful September experience for the Magpie Army, finishing the season as minor premiers, only to bow out before grand final day with successive losses to their 2 greatest rivals. But for the Tigers, a second grand final appearance in 3 seasons and the chance to win their second flag under the great Tom Hafey. Standing in their way was Carlton, the 1967 premiers, set to face the 1968 champions for the 69 title. Well, that's it for this edition of From the Fox Footy Vault. Join us again next time for another trip down memory lane right here on Fox Footy.
Can he recover at ground level? Oh, big crunch. Laid on him by the Richmond turns his right on.